So we are going to do first name in uppercase. So what will be our source field? What is the source field? This is the field that we are going to convert, right? So what will be the source field? The worker. The worker's first name. The first name, isn't it? The first name. We are going to convert that to uppercase. So we are going to do first name. Let's see if it is a Workday delivered field. Right, it is a Workday delivered field. It's a text field, so I'm going to use the first name. And let's look at our options. What are our options? I can convert that into lowercase, propercase, or uppercase. In this example, what are we trying to do? Uppercase. Uppercase, so I will choose that. Okay, we know lowercase, right? Everything in small letters. What about propercase? Maybe the first alphabet is the uppercase and the rest are lowercase. Absolutely, absolutely. First character in uppercase, rest of it in lowercase. But is McNeil in propercase? So this is something called as mixed case. So the format options will not be able to handle mixed case, right? You saw the drop-down options, lowercase, propercase, or uppercase. If I do propercase for Logan McNeil, the name would be McNeil. It will look up. It will start showing like this. Okay, now since we're talking about case, what did we talk about lowercase? Right. We talked about uppercase. We talked about propercase. Has anyone heard about? Yeah, we also talked about mixed case. This is mixed case. Does anyone know what is a camel case? This is called camel case. What is it? It starts with a lowercase letter. The first word is in lowercase. If there is a second word will start with a capital. So it's like propercase, only difference is the first character of the entire string will be in lowercase. Okay. This is called camel case. This is very popular for programmers. They use it a lot when they said, declaring a calculated field or a variable. Because sometimes what happens in some products, in some programming languages, you cannot have a space as part of the name of objects. So you have to put everything together. So if I was creating this particular calculated field first name in uppercase, if I was creating this calculated field in Java, you know how it will look like. It will look like F first name in uppercase. It will look like this. This is called camel case. It is easy to read, right? Better than if I write like this. Is this easy to read or this one? First option or second option. Which one is easier to read? First option. This is easier to read. The first one is easier to read, right? That is why this is. Somebody came up with this unique idea, so this is called as camel case. You may follow this when you are naming your parameters in, or maybe when you do XSLT. You may use this in your programming. This is also a naming convention. This is called camel case. Have you heard about the company web methods? With the product web methods by a company called Software AG. No. Okay, look it up. Okay, look up the name. Web methods. You will see, their logo is something like this. Okay, web methods. Right. So is it in camel case? Web methods. Yes. Right. So this is camel case. They are one of the proponents of camel case, this web methods software AG. So whenever we write any program or any code in web methods, we use this particular naming convention. They are the ones who started it actually. And then it became popular. Anyway, coming back to our camel case, we are not going to use web methods in Workday, so don't worry. Okay, so we have created our first name in uppercase. We have done the calculation. Anything else we need to do? Additional info right. Let's fill it up. The description. What is the description? First name of the worker in capital letters. Right. This is what this calculated field is going to do. The category is, let's say, worker. We have a category called worker. Yeah, worker. Any other category. Like a hashtag. You can use other categories also. Maybe you are going to use this in a compensation report. Right. So you can try compensation as well. Maybe you are going to use it in some benefit calculations as well. So maybe benefits. Right. Okay, benefits. And maybe you are going to use it in some integrations. Okay. So you are categorizing this particular report. It is just for easily locating this particular field. Nothing else. And where are you going to use it? Default areas, meaning it is going to be available for everybody. If you are going to restrict it to some particular authorized usage, you can specify that like, let's say, benefits or compensation. Let me click OK to save this. Right. So we have created our first calculated field. It is CF www, www, meaning we are going to use that www prefix for everything. So format text is the function, and what is it going to do? First name in uppercase. Right. So now we will test it out. We will see whether this calculated field is working or not. Isn't it? So how do we do that? How can we see whether this is working correctly or not? Maybe create a report. Right. Maybe create a report for that. So create custom report. Okay. So we will create a report called www. Let's call it as employee details report. Okay. Or employee details. That's it. And the report type we will choose as advanced. And the data source. What was the data source I asked you to use for your Apple hospitals? Workers for HCM reporting. Right. Workers for HCM reporting. That is a very versatile and very powerful data source. It is built on the worker business object. Okay. All right. So now we will add a few fields to the custom report. So first one, let's add the worker. I like it because we get the ability to take the related actions from there. So I take the worker. And do I want to have the first name? Right, the worker delivered field. I want to have the first name. This is the worker delivered field. And now I want to compare that with the calculated field that I have created. Right, so CFWW. Right. This is the calculated field that we have created. Isn't it? And should I use a column heading override? Otherwise, what will happen? The entire name of the full name of this calculated field will show up in my report output. I don't want that. So let's say first name in uppercase. Right. That's it. I'm not putting it any filter or something. I will just run this report and see what happens. Or maybe let's be tested. What is the difference between run and test? Only 10 results. Right, 10 rows of results. In this case, is it a good idea to use? Because I have not used any filter. I have not used any prompts. It will give me a lot of worker information. I don't want that. I just want to see if my calculation is working correctly or not. Let me try this test. Okay. Do you think it's working? What do you think? Look at the report and tell me. Yes. First name in uppercase. First name in uppercase. Is it giving you the data properly? Yes. Great. So we have done our first calculation. It's working correctly. Now let's say you have this oops moment. Oops, I don't want to convert that to uppercase. We should have used lowercase instead, right? So then, if you have this kind of realization, or maybe the calculation is not working as you expect, then what would you do? Can you change the calculation to a certain extent, right? You can change the calculation to a certain extent. Can you now use a different function? Instead of format text, can you use a different function now? The answer is no. You cannot change the function. You cannot make format text and change it to concatenate text. That is not allowed.